everyone. Welcome to an episode of the Tracklist Podcast Show. I am Darren Jenkins,
And I'm Chris Saunders.
and joining us on the show again, she's back all the way from Singapore, Rachel Kim. What's going on, Rachel?
I think I watched the wrong movie. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
It would be hilarious, though, right? We're like doing the
Like,
show, and then halfway through,
I'm gonna be honest. Not only did I buy Apple TV, but I bought the rental and I watched it 3 times.
you watched
Okay,
this movie
it was
three
on
times?
3 times.
Oh,
It was on 3 times. I had 48 hours to cram it, and it was just on my TV for
wow.
2 days.
I don't think I can handle that.
Yeah, I mean, there are very few
So I'll do
movies
my
I can
best
watch
to answer
three
your
times.
question.
So you are an
No, I
expert
didn't say I watched it.
on this.
I didn't say I watched it. I said it was on 3 times.
Okay. Well, I'm going to read the synopsis real quick for those of us that didn't watch it three times. Four women with nothing in common except a debt left behind by their dead husbands, criminal activities take fate into their own hands and conspire to forge a future on their own terms. This film was directed by Steve McQueen and stars a lot of people.
Well,
Viola.
quickly, are we going to let the audience guess what movie this is after we tell them all this stuff?
Did we not tell them all this stuff? It was on the
No.
thing, but Widows, the
No, it was
2018
in
film.
it was in the intro.
It's in the intro.
Chris, are you not paying attention?
I wasn't, but you know what? We should probably still say it. Widows,
yeah.
2018, starring Viola Davis, Michelle Rodriguez, Elizabeth Debicki, Liam Neeson, John Bernthal's in this, Robert Duvall, Colin Farrell, Daniel Kaluuya, and
Yeah.
Cynthia Erivo's first movie.
A lot of people. Yeah.
So,
And
yes.
Widows.
It had an all-star cast.
Yeah, it was even like some of like if you check some of the like smaller roles, there were some pretty known people in some of those smaller roles. And the reason why that is because Widows had a budget of $42 million against a gross of $76 million, which, I mean, they made money, but it wasn't that much money.
Yeah.
I feel like this movie, and correct me if I'm, well, you know what, before we get into that, Chris, you can hit us with the IMDb stuff.
Yeah, this is the weirdest I've seen it actually. So IMDb, it gets a 6.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it 91%.
I
The
saw that.
audience gave it 61%.
Wow, that's unusual.
Yeah.
Massive discrepancy.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time we saw the critics vote higher than the actual audience.
No, usually it's the other way around and it's like a cult classic, when you have a discrepancy like that. I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on here.
Well, then my feeling for this movie, yeah, so. What I was going to say was this feels like a movie that from the very beginning was trying to be an Oscar nominee. They put all the right actors in it. They had the kind of right script. They had the critics in their back pocket, but the movie, yeah, I don't know about that.
I mean, they have 3 Academy Award winners: Robert Duvall, Viola Davis, and Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah,
4 nominees: Liam Neeson, Jackie Weaver. Who's Jackie Weaver?
I have no idea.
Colin Farrell and Cynthia Erivo. And then some of them also won Golden Globe. So it's they put a lot into it.
Yeah,
There's a lot of heavy hitters, but I don't know if the story and the acting was good, but like I don't know if the story was great.
yeah,
Uh, I'm trying to. I was thinking about this earlier today, and I wasn't sure. Like I had a lot of questions, which will come later, but then I was thinking like the way they did certain things kind of made it better or made sense to me. And the reason we're doing this film is, it's Women's History Month. We wanted to like do some, you know, women-led films, and this is definitely one of them.
yeah.
It's actually Viola Davis's first leading role after during within 3 decades of acting
which is
and
insane.
75 supporting roles. So and you see now, like I think it's probably this movie that did it, right? Like she's had a lot bigger roles since this movie. So
Yeah,
say what you will about the film itself, it was definitely a platform.
yeah, uh, yeah, and there's some
She
and there,
probably gained the most from this film,
oh
like out of
yeah,
everyone. This, yeah, like everyone. I don't want to say they did charity, but like for them, it was not their best, like best film. I think for Viola was probably her shining spotlight, maybe for her.
well, I would also add that probably Cynthia Erivo probably can thank this movie for putting her in a place where she is now, having done Wicked. Um, so yeah, I mean there were a lot of winners in this movie. You know what? Maybe I'm going to add Colin Farrell to this too, because I think because this
Colin
movie,
Farrell, yeah.
I think he got Penguin. I think. I
You think
think
that's the accent he's doing in this movie?
isn't it the same accent every movie?
No, it was definitely different for at least for me in this one.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know. To be honest, I didn't really notice he had an accent. I felt like
he loses it at some point, but he has it early on in
yes,
the film.
exactly. Can't
But
give him
they
half
but
credit.
they had a what's the word for someone dialect coach come and work with all of them, and
To give him a Chicago accent
yeah, so
Hmm.
or like mafia accent.
Yeah.
More Chicago and different kinds of Chicago accents. And like I was just reading in IMDb something like, just to like not be biased, they had she brought them the different accents and styles and then had them choose which way they wanted to go. So you know,
Interesting.
I think they were very. That was one thing I thought that Steve McQueen was very conscious about. The other one is like, I saw in the trivia as well that Viola Davis asked him, what kind of wig to wear or extensions for the role. He said to wear it natural, right? And she was like surprised by that. I think it's pretty sad that she needs to be surprised about just wearing her hair natural. So I think
Yeah.
Steve McQueen was did a good job. I mean, in that respect.
Yeah. That was. I agree with that. I think it was a good choice. And it fit the role.
Yeah. It didn't take an. It's like it just makes me question, some of the decision making sometimes for TV and film.
Mm.
What would it hurt if a black woman wore her hair just natural in a film? Would it really affect the outcome of the film?
I think all
Yeah.
the black women had their hair naturally, actually. I don't think Viola was the only one.
Yeah.
Like there is a hair salon and all of them kind of didn't wear any extension or wigs or anything like that. So like I think he wanted to capture the essence of it, and I thought, as you mentioned it, I don't think I would have noticed that, but like yeah, it, there's
Yeah.
a lot of like hair scenes,
Hmm.
and nobody really wore a wig. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, we don't know about the white women though. Who knows?
the white girls all wore wigs. That's the irony.
But actually, just getting into like the actual film, I cannot say if I've ever seen an opening scene, at least done this way. I just loved how they were jumping from these intimate scenes with like the couples and then into the heist and back and forth. Have you? I just maybe I'm just not thinking about it. Are there other films that do it or at least do it this well? And that storytelling and giving us a little bit background on everybody.
I feel.
For someone like me, it was very confusing. I was like, what is this? Like,
Yeah. It
I'm getting
was.
schizophrenic.
It was unusual,
I
but
loved it. And
it's
it all
shades of Dark Knight, actually.
is it Dark Knight?
Yeah. There's like a little Dark Knight. Well, because I even like the overall feel of this movie just made like Steve McQueen made me feel like he was channeling a little Michael Mann, a little Christopher Nolan.
Well, as I was watching, I was definitely thinking Heat.
Heat. Yes, it's another one. Yep.
I was getting those kind of vibes, but I like how it was done in the beginning because, right, we're focusing on the men in this, like their heist,
Yeah.
and it automatically you're looking at these intimate scenes, like kind of like with the men, but
Yeah.
then we find out as soon as this scene is over, they're gone from the film pretty much, and then we're focusing on the women. So I thought it was really cool.
It laid down the foundation of like what was to come
Yeah.
versus doing too much of a back, like they didn't go too much into setting it. It was I think the flash scenes give you the essence of what was to come versus like doing it. They didn't lay it on thick, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And I do have perhaps a criticism of some like kind of like missed back. We talked a lot about this in the last film we did, but like some missed backstory.
Yeah.
And I think it happens here as well. But yeah, I think we got what we needed with the main characters from this first scene, and then I mean like right, it transitions very quickly from like. I mean, listen, John Bernthal is in this for like 5 minutes.
Yeah. It's the easiest money he ever made, probably.
Yeah. And then we transition like from the men into the women and like the main story. So it's good.
This could have easily been a sequel to Heat, where because at the end of Heat, all of the guys in the crew die, right?
Spoiler! Oh my God, we're not doing Heat, bro. We're doing Widows.
What are you, insane or something?
Oh, I watched Heat. Was
Everyone's
that not the
seen
movie
Heat.
I was supposed to watch?
Not young kids these days, which are our main audience, right?
I said
Right? Is that what-
Heat with Melissa McCarthy and
Oh
Sandra.
my God. Bullock. Oh, okay. No, but that's actually an interesting idea.
Yeah, because at the end of that movie, like all the women are left, and you're like, all right, so then what's that? What happens to them? They just kind of like, all right, maybe we
So-
should start a gang.
And actually, so like Liam Neeson is Robert De Niro.
Right.
John Bernthal is Val Kilmer,
Yep.
the hothead that beats his fucking wife.
Yep.
By the way, I already wanted him to die within.
Yeah,
the
he was
first-
easily the guy you wanted to die right on, like right there.
Everyone already hated him from the
Yeah.
beginning.
I'm glad they got rid of him. Right, there's movies I watch and I'm like, they could have just killed this person immediately, and I would have been fine. That they did well here. But by the way, I had like a early like what the fuck.
I had a lot of what the fucks in this one, but go ahead.
Like at the end of that heist scene, right? Like the garage door opens and like the police just light up the fucking van.
Yeah.
That stuff,
yeah.
like, honestly, was so confusing because that's not. I don't know. I'm not NYPD or like CPD or whatever, but like, is that protocol? The son gets shot because his hands were not in the air, and they shot him. I'm like, is that protocol? Like, that was
Is that too
dramatic. Like, I was like, no. I was
Yeah,
like,
that I mean, we'll get to that one. Like
There's a
both of
lot.
those
There's a lot of
scenes-
that in this movie. Yeah. Yeah.
both of those scenes were very questionable. I'm like, yeah, that shit goes down, but like, this is like not realistic.
If I'm a cop, this is not a movie that I'm like happy is out there because it doesn't make them look good at all.
No, I
And
think-
there's a lot of what I would consider
There's a
questionable.
lot of stuff I didn't appreciate. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I didn't appreciate in terms of their narrative and their wokeness. It was very bothersome for me, I think.
Yeah.
wokeness or lack of wokeness, or was it wokeness?
Over, like, they try to be too woke, in my opinion.
Oh, take it easy, Donald. Oh.
God.
My name is
Oh my
X.
God.
I am Elon's son.
Yeah. There's this.
Straws
this-
are back. Straws are back.
Straws.
You know what? Stay in Singapore. It's fine. We're good.
Straws are back. We don't recycle.
I completely forgot I wanted a drink for this show.
You forgot your audience.
Yeah, no. Rachel's reminding me now. But so we did mention some of the cast and this not being their best films, but quite frankly, like I was watching this and I was like, we need to do more movies with Colin Farrell. I think
Colin
he,
Farrell was underwhelming. I felt like his role was too small for him.
but I thought he was effective. I thought he was effective. It's like I don't think he was supposed to be overwhelming. I think like that was kind of the point, right? Even his father is like shitting on him because like
Yeah, but I thought
he's not playing the game correctly.
Yeah, but I felt like he was underutilized.
Uh, I didn't think so. I mean, I didn't. I had a hard time figuring out where he fit in, of course, until the end. But like, aside
Yeah.
from that, I thought it was because he was in the movie. I was like, well, what's the fucking point of this dude?
Like,
Like
why is he even in the movie? And they're paying a
But
pretty
they-
penny for him, and then they didn't like utilize him. That's how I felt.
Yeah, well,
Interesting.
that's why you're not. That's why you're not one of the hosts.
I'm not. I
Wow.
thought I was the host. I thought you
Alright.
came to my show.
Oh, well, no, that's a different. Never mind. But I'll also say I saw some trivia that like that reinforces my idea we need to do more Colin Farrell because the extra apparently said that he would tell jokes in between sets, in between like scenes,
Yeah.
to entertain the extras.
Oh, so then
And-
we just really need to
He
do
was
like
that
the
bored.
back.
You
He
know
was
what?
bored.
You know what? Maybe we should stop now and we'll do another movie with Rachel another time. She clearly hates this movie.
I watched it 3 times. It wasn't that bad. I
May- may-
maximized my $3.99.
Maybe because you watch it so many times, now you're bored of it because like I think
She's
that's
like,
the
"Ah."
issue.
Yeah. This.
I still like. I was like, oh my god, I missed this scene last time. I missed this scene last time.
Were you actually watching the movie? I
It was
think-
on.
That doesn't mean you
but
were watching it.
Yeah, you just said it. It doesn't mean you were watching.
I
Oh
watched
my
it.
god.
She was 3
I watched it
times.
3 times.
Okay, I'm gonna give myself a drink. 1 second.
Oh my god.
Seriously.
Anyway, this movie.
You know, I gotta be honest. It came out in 2018, right?
Oh yeah.
But I didn't know about the existence. Like, I guess it's like being in New York. Like, you don't know what movies are out.
Where? Wait. In 2018.
I didn't even know the movie existed.
Really?
Oh,
when this
I've heard about this movie forever, and
Yeah, I
I'm-
wanted
I'm-
to see it.
I'm upset I'm only seeing it for the first time now because I really like Viola Davis. By the way,
Yeah.
in many, many scenes, she sounds like Denzel Washington. Did you notice that?
Well, I've always thought she's like kind of the female Denzel Washington.
Yo, yes.
She has a very boisterous voice.
It's the delivery, it's the cadence.
Yeah.
It's just like
She's got that cadence
Interesting.
that makes you like when she's talking, you better be paying attention. And you know, the one thing about that which is interesting about it, because Michelle Rodriguez, usually when she's on screen, she's a pretty strong character, and Viola didn't make me feel like she was like here, and Michelle was down. She was like,
well, I think that says something about Michelle Rodriguez because I think that's the role she was playing. I think she played it very well.
yeah, she was good. She was
I
good.
liked her role. I liked her role a lot.
Yeah,
I think she nailed her role. Yeah.
yeah. I'm rewatching Lost right now, and I'm just getting to the episodes when she's on the scene, and I forget how good of an actress she actually is, and she does a lot of what she did on Lost on this movie, where she's kind of playing more vulnerable role, which is hard to believe when you see her in the Fast and the Furious series. So
I was just gonna say I saw Fast and the Furious version of her in this film.
oh,
Really?
where?
She's a badass in Fast and the Furious.
Well, maybe
She's a badass in this one as well.
When?
yeah, like in the later scenes when she gets like acclimated.
Yeah, it was a character. It was like she started off soft, but then she kind of crescendos. I think.
Well, I think the other girl does that too.
Oh, yeah.
The
Alice.
white girl, the
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 white
one
girl.
that wears a condom dress.
She's a
What are
giant,
you
by the way.
wearing?
How
Akanda.
tall is she? She's like 6 foot.
6'3". I saw something about. I don't know if they were exaggerating, but yeah.
She's like a model, no? Like she's yeah.
She must be. But conversely, by the way, I don't know if this is bad to say, but I'm not really a Daniel Kaluuya fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like him. I think he's a good actor.
Yeah, that's what he thinks.
Which one's
as well.
he?
He's the
He's-
violent black man.
He's the brother
Oh
of the guy
yeah.
running for mayor.
I didn't love his role.
I
His
didn't like
role
his
or
role.
him?
Both. I don't think he did a good job.
I don't think
for
I don't
that
like him
role.
when they put him in roles like that because I don't think that's his strength.
Because I don't see, yeah, I don't think he's not like, that's not who he is, and he doesn't do a good job being the dick asshole.
Honestly, he well, I will admit this part about him. He can be a bit too the same in some of his roles. Like I feel like
I think so too.
he played the same dude in Black Panther.
No, he
In the
wasn't.
first
he,
one.
He,
In
he
the
wasn't.
first
He wasn't crazy. He's crazy in this one. He's like a sociopath, psychopath in this one. In Black Panther, he's just a traitor.
Oh, okay, just a traitor. Okay,
He just doesn't. He just doesn't believe in T'Challa's approach, right? Like in this, he also doesn't believe in his brother's approach, but he's fucking
Yeah.
crazy. He's just like insane.
yeah.
As opposed to Get Out, which is
Get Out.
a
He was,
completely
I-
different role for him.
yeah,
Yeah, I have him in Get Out. Like, that's my
he was good in it. Get Out. Yeah,
memory. Get Out was good for
Yeah.
him.
yeah. He needs to play like
But
more
this one, I
grounded
don't-
roles, like more like normal guy dude roles, not like thug.
Have you
dudes.
seen? I haven't seen it, so don't judge me. But Judas and the whatever.
Oh no, I haven't seen it either.
Oh, thank God. I thought I was a bad black person. Because
You're
then he won.
black?
He won for that, right?
Yeah.
Well, you can mute her, right?
Oh, I didn't know I was talking to black people. I didn't know we were talking about Black History Month. Like, what's going on?
Oh no. See, we're transitioning. We're transitioning, right? Last episode, what did we do it, Darren?
Oh no, I did see Judas and the Black Messiah. I'm sorry, I did see it.
Oh, why you lying, man? Oh, we did Juice our last episode.
Yeah, Juice.
So right at the tail end of Black History. Now we're going into Women's History Month with Viola Davis and a cast of women, strong cast of women, and hopefully we'll be doing some more this month with some good, decent soundtracks. So
Yeah.
And people that actually watched the movie.
yeah. I see. I knew you didn't watch it because you don't know what you do.
I watched it 3 times.
You watched the wrong movie
Three
three
times.
By the way, I just mentioned soundtrack. The first song
Yeah.
comes at like the 20-minute mark in this movie.
Yeah, there was a point where I'm watching a movie where I go, wait, where's the music? What's going on here?
Darren chose this movie, everybody, just so you know.
I chose the movie. Damn right.
What was the soundtrack? What was the scene when the first soundtrack came on?
Was it a
It was
flashback?
when it was a flashback with Liam Neeson and her in the bathroom.
Yeah, Wild as the Wind, Nina Simone.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
good song.
Great song. Yeah.
Dude, Nina Simone's voice is like we did Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
And then in the Juice, what song was in the Juice movie that we were talking about? What artist? Another female artist. We're talking about her voice.
Oh damn, I can't remember.
I can't even find it. I don't even see it here. Anyway, I have to throw Nina Simone in this conversation. Her voice is penetrating. She's
Yeah.
got that baritone, that low.
She's haunting. Very haunting.
Yeah. Anyway, that was the scene.
Oh, Aretha Frank. No, Roberta Flack.
That's the one. Yeah. We've had a few artists in the soundtracks recently that I've just like I've gone and listened to them at the gym. Like when I'm at the gym, and I'm just like, oh my god. Like I know their stuff. I've heard them before, but I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know.
New
what the con-
appreciation.
Yeah, I don't know why all of a sudden, but
Yeah, there've been some good performances on some soundtracks recently.
so it took 20 minutes, but we got
Yeah,
a really good song, and it definitely fit the mood of the scene.
yeah.
Um, I did have a thing like if you noticed, I won't do a pop quiz, but did you notice?
No.
Oh, I know you didn't because you didn't watch the movie. You didn't watch the movie, so of course you didn't. Um, so Jatem, which is Daniel Kaluuya's
Oh yeah.
character, he's waiting outside of that fireside, was it bowling alley?
Bowling alley. Yeah.
And he's in the car, and there's an interview on the car, on the radio, with about like Albert Woodfox, and it's him talking about spending 40 years in prison, and like doesn't matter how good your behavior is, they just they're not gonna let you out. It sounded just like Red from Shawshank Redemption to me.
Oh.
You know that character, right?
Yeah.
He always goes to his like hearings, and they're like, "Sorry," he says everything they want to hear. He was kind of saying that in the interview, so I was like, "Oh snap, is this the same universe?"
No.
Oh come on, why not?
I have no
Why not?
idea.
You can't just
I've,
say. Have you seen Shawshank Redemption three
no, I
times?
have not.
Oh
I
my
have
god.
not.
Oh,
I don't think they play it in Singapore.
I'm gonna start mailing you DVDs. How about that?
Yeah, I feel like
But
you
I
need.
need a DVD player. I need like a Blu-ray, like a PS3 or something to play.
I think there's a problem. You didn't live in Singapore 10 years ago. How have you not seen Shawshank Redemption?
I might have, I don't remember.
Oh my god. Okay, let's move on before I have a conniption.
This
Anyway,
is
I might still be drunk from like 3 hours ago, so I don't know.
3 hours ago.
is that when you went to bed?
Kind of.
Oh my god. So you're not taking this podcast seriously, is what happened right now.
I'm taking it very seriously. I showed up.
I was
showed
going to say
up.
she's here, so she took it seriously for sure.
Very seriously.
You gotta get 8 to 10 hours of sleep for this podcast. It's gonna be a top of your
Okay,
game.
I have to go sleep now.
But this
This
brings
is
me.
hilarious.
I was about to get to our segment. So hold up.
So hold up.
And instead of talking about what I wrote down, I'm gonna be like, so you just went to sleep 3 hours ago? Is that what you're telling us?
Okay, maybe 4 hours ago because it's 8:30. So
What,
like,
what were you up watching this movie all night?
Yeah, that was the third time.
no, I ran out of. It was expired. I couldn't watch it anymore.
Oh my God.
I only had 48 hours to watch it.
As much as you wanted to watch it again.
Yeah, I watched it on my way out, and I was like, okay, I think I got the gist of it. I got this. I got this in the morning. I got this, and I was like, wow.
So this is my real. So hold
So
up.
ask away. I'm ready for you.
It's not really a question, but so Alice's mom is essentially telling her to become an escort.
Yeah, a hooker, pretty much. I mean,
Well, no,
essentially.
the PC term is escort.
Oh, my bad. The hook
Working
term is
professional. Yeah.
working
Working
professional,
profession, night walker, street walker. Anyway,
social expert.
yeah. I'm just. How would you feel if your mother was like, "You should go"?
Oh, and that, by the way, that's remember the person you were asking about who is she? That's who it was. Her mother. That's who the character.
She's won an award. A what? She won a. Oh, she was nominated for what?
I have no
For
idea.
prostitution?
Yes, she won a Golden Globe for prostitution or Academy Award. What was
Hey,
Played
it?
an
I
amazing
It's the
prostitution.
Oscars. Anything is
What?
possible.
gotta see what the hell Jackie
No,
Lee
but,
Earl
like,
Awards.
are
Best
you
Supporting
asking-
Actress.
Are you asking, is it okay for a parent to suggest their kid to pursue adult?
I'm not asking if it's okay. I was asking how would you feel if your mom said that shit to you?
But I feel like if that's your normalcy, I think that there's no one to really, like, maybe she did it as growing up. Maybe she looked like her, even though she doesn't look like it as an adult. But, like,
Yeah.
maybe when she was her age, she may have used that as a form of income. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
It could technically. I mean,
And she's like, you're
be a-
not educated. he can give you a college education. Like, it was more of an opportunistic approach than I think. Yeah, it's like
It could be
highest
a
and best use of their daughter.
It could be a form of empowerment too, in a sense. The woman takes control of her future by any means necessary.
Yeah,
However, if it was
or
my
just
sister, I'd beat somebody's ass.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
no, because I think it's kind of like, to your point, it's like taking ownership, but also at the same time it's supported. It's not like a secret from your mom. It's not like you pursued it on your own and you're not telling your family. The family's fully aware that this is what you're pursuing. Maybe it gives it a different light. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, this is also a question. This is for the men as well. If my mom asked me to do that shit, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah.
Well, on that note, in Thailand here, there are people from rural parts of Thailand that cannot even like cover like their daily cost of living, and they get their tranny surgery and go hit the city to work to bring money for the family. So,
Wow.
Huh.
Okay.
so I mean, it's a means to an end, I guess, and you can morally maybe have conflicting views on it, but in some cultures, it's like you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
I guess I'm just
Old fashioned.
privileged, huh?
Oh.
So, Jackie Weaver was nominated for Animal Kingdom and Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh, interesting.
I haven't seen either of those, so
Silver Linings Playbook.
Silver Lining Playbook. What did she play? I watched that one because my lover's on it.
I think she's. I'm sorry. Wait. What?
Bradley Cooper.
Oh God. Anyway, I think she plays the mother. I think she plays what's her face's mother. Um, who's the girl who was in Silver Linings Playbook from the Hunger Games?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence.
okay. Well, I guess I just never seen her in my life, so I haven't seen those
Yeah,
two
I
movies.
actually
So I
have not
guess.
seen her before either. Her face wasn't familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't know her if
But
she
she
walked
did
down
a
the
great
street.
job. I like the role.
Well, she's an Academy Award nominee. Was she underutilized as well in this movie?
Seems
No.
like it.
Because I didn't know her. She was maximized.
Man, $42 million, man. I went to all the actors, 100%.
100%. This was like a very like Ocean's 11 type of movie. I felt like.
Hey, take it easy.
Don't
Take
get him
it
started.
easy.
Don't
No.
get him started.
It's just not as good. That's all.
It's just not as good, and the plot twist wasn't great.
And I
Yeah.
mean, listen, Ocean's 11 is also like right. There's a comedy factor to it. This was very dark.
Very dark. It was very avant-garde, I feel like,
Very, yeah, it was
or
definitely.
an attempt.
But
Yeah.
I'm gonna like just do not even a U-turn, but like a beeline here. Did you guys watch? I think it was last week's SNL or maybe 2 weeks ago. Did you see the one?
SNL they don't have in Singapore.
Oh God, man, do they have anything in Singapore?
No.
Okay, well, this is directed towards Darren though. Did you see the SNL that Shane Gillis hosted?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that
He-
was last week, I think.
it was last week. Like it was his like opening monologue was a stand up and it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it was
But-
terrible. Oh,
But there was so do you remember one of the things he says? Because like Colin Farrell's character Jack says something similar.
what?
There's a whole joke in Shane Gillis' stand up about like white guys do this all the time. And it's pretty racist, and I've done it.
Oh,
He
yeah.
asks if he asks his like girl he was seeing if she'd ever had sex with a black dude.
Yes.
and Jack does it in this movie.
Yeah, there's
I
a
didn't understand that line. I didn't understand that line.
I didn't know how it was relevant to anything.
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
my
lot.
point. That's why things like that kind of like like irked me the wrong way because like I felt like they were trying to be a little bit too woke. I don't know. It just like was not inappropriate, but like so irrelevant.
Yeah, on
Well,
that I agree with you on that.
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It was
I'm
unnecessary.
I'm trying to think
It
like
was
right
an
his
overshot. Like
his
I don't know. I didn't like it.
well maybe like so his father is clearly very racist.
Very.
Maybe it's like
But there's so many ways to go about that, and
and
it's
and,
just like
and well so his father's pretty racist and he's trying to it feels like he's trying to be different and like leave those he mentions it later on in the film, leave those kind of people in the past, but maybe it's just showing a hint of like his father's influence on him and that's why they threw it in there. By the way, he's getting driven around by a black driver who I think probably heard all of that shit. So
Yeah. Oh, and he has
it's
another.
just so crash.
Yeah. It like it was overdone. Like there's a lot in this movie, and I've got several what the fuck moments, most of which have to do with that experience, and I'm just like, it makes me not want to go to Chicago. I can tell you that.
Or like the thing when like Viola was like, "Oh, you go for a white baby and a white," and I just was like, "Why are you playing the race card here?" Like,
It felt
I
like.
didn't like that either.
well,
Have you ever seen the movie Crash?
yes.
It
Maybe.
made me feel like they did a heist movie in the same universe as Crash.
I just I didn't mind that part. I didn't mind it because like I feel like that's realistic. I feel like that would be like a realistic reaction from a black woman dating a white guy who faked his
Yes,
own death and then run and tries to run off
yes,
with a white
white
woman. I
woman,
feel like it's exactly what I would
100%.
say.
Like, they played too many of the race card in this that the whole thing collectively bothered me. It was like that's why I said it was too woke. Like they were making it so much about the race card, everything that they did, and I was like, God, it's too much.
They did do one thing in the movie, and I wonder if you picked this up. There's the like so when he's Colin Farrell's out there on that podium talking about that minority women organization thing, and then he walks off. He gets in the car, and then they keep the camera outside the car while they're having this conversation inside the car, and they're driving. If you notice, they're only driving for like maybe a minute, maybe 2 minutes, which basically is letting you know how close to the hood basically they were and how close to the war zone they were. And I think that played into why they kind of added all these racial tones to it because they were doing a couple things in this movie. This movie was a love story, this movie was a heist film, and this movie was a social conversation. But they didn't do, I feel like there were pieces of the script that were missing. And there we like we did in that last movie where there were pieces of this movie that are missing, which don't make sense when like the movie does like all those racial moments don't make sense because they're missing other elements that would have made okay, so that's why he's like this. Oh, okay, that's
Which
why his father,
which 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 would have been the reason that Rachel was confused if she had watched the right movie.
I watched Mulan, okay?
she watched Mulan.
That's not even it's similar spelling at all to widows.
Maybe same number of letters. I don't know.
What
No.
was Widows a Disney movie too?
But to your point, Darren, I think the original cut for this was like 3 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say it's
this
probably
movie
gonna
was
be.
not short.
This was 2 hours and 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it 3 times. It was not
You
short.
spent
You
six
keep
hours
saying that
watching.
like you're really trying to convince us that you actually watched it 3 times.
I did watch it.
Uh-huh.
I gave you my receipt. I watched it.
Oh no, you could have bought it. I have a receipt for some vegetables, but I don't
She
fucking
put
eat
it
the
on and
vegetables.
then went to sleep.
I was just working away. I was like, huh, interesting. Working away. I was
Mhm.
like, huh, interesting.
Moving on. By the
Okay,
way,
the dog. The dog.
okay. Oh, what about the dog? Where you going? You gonna shit on the dog now? Was it an ugly dog?
The dog was too woke. I'm just kidding.
Too woke.
Like,
The dog's too woke.
There was a scene. There was a scene with a dog that bothered me when that guy came in pretending he's from the precinct,
Yeah.
and then he like grabbed the dog
Mhm.
by the neck, and it was like so fake looking, and that bothered me the shit out of me.
oh, so you prefer the real dog get choked? Okay, just checking.
Like I'm like that was a doll. That doesn't look real. Use a real one.
No dogs were hurt in the making
Wow.
of this movie.
Well, yeah, and these are not the opinions of the hosts of the show, so we don't get just Rachel can get canceled.
Yeah, you can cancel her. She don't even
I'm
get.
surprised I haven't gotten canceled yet. And then the dog, and then it
Working
didn't
on it.
occur to me when she went to the second family's home and the dog was barking. I was like, shut the fuck up. Why are you barking so much? I was like, oh, Liam's in there.
Yes.
Well, this leads to my pop quiz.
Mm.
It
Yeah.
should be easy. You mentioned the dog. What is the name of the dog?
Ooh, I don't know.
Come on, I made this easy one for Dan.
Great.
Come on.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to that damn
She
dog.
says no. She says the name about 30 times in the movie. Okay, I can't
Oh,
Larry.
list it.
interesting.
Oh my
Larry.
God. She said it so many times. No, Harry is her husband.
I said Larry,
I don't
not Harry.
remember. I don't remember.
Okay.
Mr. Puffums,
It's not a mister. It's not a boy. First of all.
Oh, it's
Miss
not?
Mrs.
Well, Cookie
Snuggles.
sounds like a good.
Okay. No more guesses.
Chanel.
No, you're done. Olivia. It's the dog's name is.
That's what I
Olivia.
said. I said Olivia. I had said Olivia. I said
a Larry.
I had seen.
Wait, Olivia?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
But moving on again.
A damn dog.
So did you? I was watching this film, and Cynthia
Yeah.
Erivo's character Belle
Yep.
starts jetting for the bus.
Yep.
She's an athlete.
Oh yeah. She looked like
Oh
she
my
ran track.
god. What's that other show that she was on? It was a TV show.
Oh,
She was on a TV show.
yes.
Like
yes,
I think it's on HBO.
Yeah, we watched it, and now I can't.
Do you know what
remember
I'm
the name.
talking about?
Yeah, it's like some husband's accused of killing his wife, and she's like investigating it, right?
I don't remember. But I like her. I
Anyway.
like I like her. Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
Luth. Not
like when
Luther.
she was like when she was babysitting, I saw her guns, like her arms are like cut, like she's like a monster.
Yeah, she's she's an athlete. She wasn't
No,
pretending
she's
to run.
truly an athlete.
No, she was jetting.
But then my
Who's-
question is like, you know how she was like, oh, I like to run because I'd rather be on your dime than be on a bus. But I felt like she was running because she's from the hood.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it might be.
Does that make sense? Like I can't like walk slowly in my neighborhood because it's not safe.
No, she was in a rush. She had to
I
get
thought
to
she was
her.
like booking it. I felt like she was like booking it.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right. All of that might be right.
Yeah,
It,
so
it just
Darren,
showed the essence of how unsafe her neighborhood was. What I took away from her running.
And you can hear people
I don't know. She didn't
commenting
seem,
on her running.
yeah, but she didn't seem like someone that gave a shit about that. She seemed like a tough cookie.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
So Darren, we did Moonwalker on the podcast
Yep.
relatively recently. Who's a better athlete, Michael Jackson or Cynthia Erivo?
I'm going to say Michael,
Really?
simply because look at Michael. Seriously, like, does he look like an athlete? But the way he was moving, man, I feel like
I
he
think-
could dunk. I think he could probably dunk.
I think Cynthia beats him in 100 meters.
You think?
I don't know. The way she was, her form was fucking tight as hell. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he could
yeah.
lean at the
Smooth criminal to the finish line.
the smooth criminal at the finish line. Shoot.
I mean, I gotta say, you mentioned like Bell's neighborhood, but like, I will be real nervous using city sitters to watch, like, have a stranger come watch my kids.
Yeah, it was like city sitters. Is that?
Yeah, agreed. But then I feel like yes, but at the same time, I feel like that's kind of their way of life, and
Yeah.
they need sitters because everyone has like 6 jobs.
I think it's Rachel that's being too woke, man. She keep on shutting down my shit, like,
She's
you know,
like,
cause
shut it down.
cause
Shut
I'm
it
not
down.
from the hood. She's like, Chris, boy, what you don't know about the hood is,
What do you know about the
damn.
hood? I tell you about the hood. Because in Singapore, there's zero crime, so I'm trying to be woke.
You're succeeding.
No, but I think like they all have like you have your own kid at home and you're babysitting someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. No, no, you're right. It's
I
probably
mean,
for
that's their
them.
way
It's
of
like
life,
Uber.
no?
Yeah. For them, it's probably there's probably not many other choices to that, right?
I'll
So
take the expert Rachel's word for it. Yeah.
I'm from the hood.
Uh-huh.
3 times.
You hear the sirens in my background.
No, that's my background.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what side? We're going to the coffee shop. There's no crime. There's no crime in Singapore.
So Darren, man, maybe we should start getting through some of your what the fuck moments if you have so many, because I have one that like caught me like mid movie.
I mean, there's so many. Most of them have to do
Well,
the
you said
first.
yours was more with race.
The first one. Well, there's one is a combination. My favorite quote, but also what the fuck. And I know you know which one I'm talking about. Probably. I will save that for later. But the whole where is he? I guess he's in like some kind of private club. Colin Farrell's in the private club, and they have like the camera shot of them like all sitting on these couches around, talking about the campaign a bit, and you hear him saying, "I'm gonna beat that black gay MF." I'm just like, it wasn't even necessary. Like if you listen to the conversation, he didn't have to go there. He could have just said, "I'm gonna beat Joe Schmo," whatever his fucking name was. I was just like, okay. See, now you're just getting on my nerves.
I mean, again, like I've never, I don't, well, I was about to say I've never been in a club like that. I have, but only because my boss brought me to one. But like, you don't know how these motherfuckers talk, right? It's that locker room talk we were hearing about during
Yeah, I get
the
the
Me Too
behind the
movement.
I don't think
scenes,
people
fly on the
really
wall.
talk like that.
Are you sure? I think they do.
Do they
Yeah.
really?
Oh, I think
Yeah, I
they
hate to say it these
Oh,
days in the
that I
U.S.
don't know.
Unfortunately, yeah. Like if I was a fly on the wall,
do. Just think of our current president, but more of him. There's a lot more people like that in the
Sure,
world,
no, that's
right?
obvious. That's obvious. Yeah. Yeah.
He just says
Oh, I
everything
thought
out
Elon was
loud.
our president. No, Elon is not our president.
Elon is.
Like
Elon
he
is the
like
president
fucking
of
like
Singapore.
shows up at the Oval Office like it's like his office.
He's just walking around like he's just a bro.
I'm sorry I even started down that path. Let's
Yeah,
redirect.
please,
I don't
no.
even want to. No, we're not doing that
Oh, and
today.
the scene where Daniel Kaluuya shoots the dude in the gym, that whole scene, like where he's like, "Yeah, man, do some of that rapping you
when
was
they're
doing for me."
beatboxing and freestyling. That's actually a rap group. Those two guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I forgot their names, but yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
oh
that
my
shit.
God.
But I knew it was coming.
I
I
knew it was coming,
coming.
but I didn't know it was coming. But I knew
But
it was
like,
coming.
so I mentioned that like I'm not a fan of Daniel Kaluuya, but I feel like there was some. I don't know if it was direction or writing or it was actually him, but he had some like. There were some good decisions I thought like made with his character.
Yeah.
The freestyle scene being one of them because he's acting like he's really into it. He's like, oh yeah, yeah, and then he
He's
just
like,
out of nowhere just
"Oh."
pops them.
Bah!
And there's a few other scenes like when he visits Veronica's driver at his place,
Yeah.
and then he asks him for the notebook, and like he says he doesn't know anything about it, and he just walks away. walks to the TV. His boys start beating the shit out of him, and he's like turns it on and turns it up. I
That
thought
was
that
messed
was
up.
a cool decision. Just to like have, I don't know, it makes him like
No,
so scary.
but then they played football.
Yeah, he put the football game
Yeah,
on.
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Turned
that
it up.
it wasn't like a Jerry Springer show or anything. They played like because there's like, oh, you played the Super Bowl, whatever that was the line, right? Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a Super Bowl ring that was a gift from
Yeah.
Harry. Yeah.
From yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, they are what the fuck moments, but they are also like I was actually like, okay, like this shows how dangerous this guy is and like how zero fucks he gives.
Yeah.
So
Right. Yeah.
I think my one of my what the fucks was like I said right in the middle was like when Linda goes to visit that guy to get the to find out what the building was,
Oh, right.
what the plans were for,
Yeah.
and then she finds out he also
Making
lost his wife.
They
and then
start
he's like, I
making
lost
out.
my husband 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I was like, and they start making out. I was like, what's happening?
I thought at
Like,
first I
was
thought
that
it was.
scene? I don't know if that scene was necessary,
Yeah. No. It was. It was
or
odd.
it just showing, or it's just expressing vulnerability due to a loss and what that could do, which is the essence of the name of the movie, Widows. I don't know.
What would have been cool
Maybe to
is if
touch on what it's like to be a widow.
they should have used it. Like they should have had her kind of like thinking on her feet, kind of use that to get the information she needed. That would have been kind of a cool move. But
I would have
I
hated her
don't.
character if you did that.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Because she went like not knowing what she was walking herself into,
Yeah.
right? And then maybe that was a form of damage control in essence. I don't know. Or maybe it was real. I don't know.
I do call bullshit on one thing though about her is when she goes to I guess it must be the architect's office and hands her floor plans to the secretary. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that that's a stupid idea. Like, why would you go to the place the plans came from and hand them the plans that are clearly not yours? I mean,
Right.
that should have been, there's a couple scenes in this movie where I'm like, this movie is going to be over in like 5 minutes because,
I actually don't know. I think that's too sophisticated. Like for me, it's like, okay, it's an honest ask. Like, remember there's a line when they're like, I need you to be smarter than right now.
yeah,
Remember? And whatever smart looked like, it was her way of articulating her ability to do more than she's capable of. And maybe the average person wouldn't do that because they know that that's pretty stupid. But for her basis point, maybe that was her being smart.
you said you watched this 3 times. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So question here's an
Okay.
important question.
Pretty
What
good. Pretty
did
good.
what did you like about this movie?
What?
What did you like about this movie? Anything?
I like the all-star cast because I felt like that almost validated that it was supposed to be an amazing movie, and then they had a budget for it. So whoever sold the dream did a great job.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a bad movie. I just felt like it reminded me of a lot of other movies put together.
Hmm.
And I didn't find a lot of originality in the storyline. That when I saw Liam not being dead, I'm like, eh. When I saw them being a heist because they needed money, I'm like, eh. Like, it wasn't anything that was, like, new.
The widow's part.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe, but, like, cool.
I mean, this came out before Ocean's 8. So
Yeah.
there's that. The woman's Ocean's 11.
Right.
is-
And I felt like this was like that, like, put the Tupperware in your bag. This is 50 blah blah blah. Walk faster. And I'm like, this is like fucking every heist movie. Like it wasn't original, I felt.
Well, you mentioned that. So we already mentioned like Heat and what was the other one, Darren?
Oh,
I can't remember what the fucking thing said. You said it, but and also now you're mentioning stuff now. Well, it's because of Rachel's accent that she's been using. Now I'm thinking also like the town.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I asked that question and like I liked some things about it. Like there some of this. So I read that some of the approach to this was more of a documentary style film. So they use like one camera a lot of the time
Yeah.
for each
Okay.
scene. You
You
see
can
that
tell.
in the gym scene when they're circling Daniel Kaluuya and the other guys. And I like some of the cinematography, some of the shots. All that being said, like I just for the last like half an hour of the movie, I just had a bunch of questions.
Yeah. I,
Um,
So like the shot when Viola shot Liam,
yeah.
like that was like no shock. There was no shock to me about that. Like
Yeah. That was.
yeah,
I feel
that's
like
like stuff like that. I wish it was if it was done the other way around, I would have been more shocked.
well,
I
that
I just
can't do that.
I just wish they hadn't done the reveal so early. I feel like they should have did the reveal
Uh,
out like so
Yeah,
instead of Daniel.
later on.
they didn't need to show him in the room sitting there, like, and they didn't need the woman saying anything to him.
Right. Right.
Right. Yeah. He should. Like we're like, oh shit. I mean, it was revealed once the dog. Well, at least for some of us, not Rachel, that when the dog started barking at the door, that he was in there. But like,
I got it because I watched it 3 times. I knew he was in there.
on the third time, you got it.
I was like, oh, I thought this was a flashback. I was confused.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I think the reveal was too early. I think it would have been kind of cool to see him standing outside on the street when they came out after robbing the place, and have him be the one that steals the actual money, and then get into like a car chase where they meet up at the. Then they meet up.
But they
at the-
had to give him more airtime because he's so expensive.
He was
Yeah,
busy on Taken or something.
No, honestly, he was not in the movie that much.
He
Yeah.
wasn't, but he had to have been so expensive. So they had to kind of utilize his screen time, no?
Yeah,
He
that was
was-
probably
he-
20 million right there.
He was in the movie less than Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
You think he was less than Colin Farrell?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Colin Farrell has a speech. He has a few conversations with his
Ah,
dad.
yes,
He has a
yes.
couple
Has more.
conversations with the
Yeah, yeah,
Mannings.
yeah.
Like
That's
he's
right,
in
that's
there.
right.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
He could have. It could have
Yeah.
been just anybody being Liam Neeson.
This is
I agree with that. He was that plot twist came too early, then you just kind of start losing everything.
Yeah. I
Wowzers. Wow.
I've never
a-
seen
Product placement.
I've never seen Liam Neeson do a love scene, so that was a bit disturbing for me up front.
Fair
But I'm
enough.
sh-
Fair enough.
Tall guys need love too, man.
but I'm sure he was like,
Yeah.
yeah. I bet that kind of sold him on doing the movie. He was like, love scene, finally, someone can see me as a romantic lead.
But like
No.
he's like a Jason Stam what is his name? The guy when he
Statham.
does like he kind of has like that vibe where he only has like one type of movie he's always like been casted for.
Have you not seen Rob Roy?
Rob Roy.
It's like a Braveheart movie. He was in that.
Oh,
Well,
Rob Roy.
also, I guess that's a what the fuck moment for me because you mentioned the love scenes because there's the scene where he's just like Veronica's mad at him and he just like starts squeezing her boob,
Yeah, I was
but
like,
like it looked like he was squeezing it.
yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'd have turned like
I
cut.
don't
cut.
remember that part.
Yeah, dude, I was
Could you
just like,
imagine how many
I was like,
times
dude,
that-
take it, dude, take it easy, man. Jeez, and she was just like, man, she wasn't.
He was
showing any
probably just
pain,
mad because they killed him early in the movie.
but Maybe Ooh, that she was starring in his movie. Anyway, so didn't need to see that. Didn't need to see. I get how it's relevant, but like when the son Marcus gets shot by the cops, which Rachel
Yeah.
mentioned
I didn't
earlier,
like that scene
yeah,
at
it was,
all.
it's just like it's not like I've ever been in a traffic stop and like it was just triggering with everything that's going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
so-
get, and I think this was before BLM.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it was
well, that
definitely-
was that was pretty much. I mean, came to a head during 2020, right?
Yeah.
This is
Right.
2018.
So
It was filmed in
that
2017.
was such a very hard scene to watch. I didn't like it. No.
And at that
I felt like
moment,
it was so unnecessary.
it did. Yeah, at that moment in time, I don't know how much that storyline played a part of this movie. It wasn't like he was killed
I don't think
and
that there was
then
much impact. And then
Well,
no, it's more like he was dealing with loss, right? Liam was dealing with loss, and then like he probably found it in the white woman. I don't know.
well,
that was
I mean, I think it's relevant because, right? I actually that was what I was talking about before about backstory.
yeah.
Is that at some like they try to do it with flashbacks, and you get like a couple of flashbacks of them arguing about Marcus, and then we get the scene where he gets killed. Like for me, like that storyline would have hit harder with more backstory. So I think it was relevant to the film. It's just triggering, right? Like I think it needed to be in there, or maybe they could have done some other way he got killed. Like
I think it was too dramatic, honestly.
I mean, it's realistic in the fact that like that stuff has happened and
Of
is
course,
happening, right?
of course,
So
of course.
I guess why not do it that way, right? You said it's before BLM, so like they're not thinking about the triggering part of it. So
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was very uneasy to watch that scene. Yeah.
I also like the scene where Jatem dies. I
Uh,
don't mind that he dies, but like I have a thing with car crash. One of my best friends died in a car crash, so that they also show a close up of him at the aftermath, and like I just
Yeah.
so a couple of triggering things in this film. Um,
Yeah. No. Well, my girlfriend died in a car crash, so that was it, but he with his character, to be honest, he like I just wish they could have killed him off sooner in the movie because he was just a terrible person.
they should have done it in a way that like a crowd would like, cause like in the car crash is kind of like, oh, okay, he's dead. Whereas if it was like more personal, like one of the women did something like, and it was more embarrassing for him to die. Like I
I
think
thought they were gonna frame him actually. I thought that was like I thought maybe she would
Who?
figure it out. Jatem.
Jatem.
I thought they were gonna figure out some way of framing him somehow and getting him like killed that way. But I guess running into a stanchion works too. I guess
yeah, I feel like it should have been more like it was intentional, but I mean more intentional, like maybe more personal.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
they-
exactly.
Like they give him a taste of his own medicine or something. Like he was playing with those guys on the basketball court, or the way he killed the driver. Like just do something like that's more poetic, right?
Well, there
What
were
about
a
the
lot
guy
of
that was rapping and then they shot him?
Yeah.
there were a lot
That was
of
like so
loose
that
ends.
was so stupid.
There were a lot of loose ends in this movie, to be honest.
Well,
I told you I watched the movie. I told you. I know
Mhm.
exactly what I'm talking about.
here are a few of my questions, and I don't want to take up too much time. Okay,
Was it past your bedtime, Sanders?
It's almost.
2 hours.
Okay.
So we talked about when Liam Neeson's character Harry is in the white woman's place, and the
Yep.
dog is barking at the door. Why doesn't she open the door? Why didn't Veronica open the door?
Why?
She seems to know he's alive.
She knows. But I think it's.
But I think it's more for the audience. I think it's more for the audience.
I also think she was thinking how she can use that because she clearly had a plan once she got the gun, like when that confrontation between old man Smithers when they're robbing the place. That's why she's like, give me the gun. Why? It was the construction of the plan was a little loose, but I think she had a plan to kind of get back. If you notice, when he shows up in the garage at the end, toward the end of the movie, she's not surprised at all, right? She's not.
Yeah, we know she knows he's alive.
Yeah. So I think she also knew like that eventually he's going to show up and she'll have to deal with him. That's why she was ready to shoot him. I don't think she was ready to deal
I
with
don't
him
think
at the
I
time.
just think she just couldn't be bothered. I don't think that yeah, it wouldn't have
Yeah.
been conducive. I
At
think.
that point, she's running a $5 million heist. She's like, I'm doing it for
Well,
me now.
Well,
Not
here's
for
the
him.
thing. Well, I guess, but here's the thing. Like, if he's alive, doesn't that make the heist moot?
No.
She just outs him and gives him over to the Mannings, and
Well, she could, yeah.
done.
But then she loses the $5 million.
Well, I'm sure she got some life insurance on him or something. I don't know.
Life insurance.
Or she could have them
Yeah,
pay
why don't you
him.
just go into her insurance plan and see what she's able to claim?
Was she going to call State Farm or something?
Like a good
See,
neighbor.
that also doesn't make any sense because if this guy had life insurance, then you could have claimed that he wasn't like he
Yeah, she
faked
could
his
just
death.
cash it
makes
in,
absolutely no sense.
gave him the money.
Exactly,
Bob-
and she would have made some money. It's like so stupid.
All right,
It
so-
doesn't make sense.
So you guys are not giving me any concrete answers yet. Okay, next question. Assuming Veronica accepted like Jack's offer for help, like right, that's why she goes to his place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How does she know to look behind the map for the safe?
because if she didn't do it, then there's no story.
Wow. I like that answer more than anything I've ever heard.
Thanks. Just because MacGuffin. Okay.
I understand the movie. Give me some credit, guys.
I love
I
that.
know what I watched.
All right.
Otherwise, the movie would be over, and then we would not be having this conversation.
Thus my
Okay.
point.
All right. I'm gonna keep the questions coming in. Okay. You know when they're staking out the house
Yeah.
and Belle like jumps up on something, looks over the fence, and
On
like
the wall. Yeah.
isn't really hiding? Why couldn't she just try to stay out of sight?
You know, I actually had that
Let me
same
go back to
question.
the screenwriters and find out.
I'm like, man,
So
these
you're
people's
not even trying to
security
think
are
right now.
terrible.
Okay.
Their security was the worst because,
Yeah.
like, she jumped up on the wall. I mean,
I don't know if I remember that. I don't know if I remember that. Yeah.
it's right there. She's
Okay, so-
right there.
So the answer is ask the screenwriters. Okay, great.
Yep.
Okay,
My honest answer.
this might be the same answer then. How is Veronica qualified to lead the heist? To lead
Because
a
she's
heist?
the first one.
Because
That's
she's the richest. she's the richest.
Or so they thought.
But that rich don't mean brains like to plan something.
No, it's not that. It's just that she had the resources to put it together. Bimbo
didn't-
wearing a condom doesn't know anything.
Which didn't make any
Rodriguez doesn't know
sense.
anything.
Because she says to them she has nothing. Nothing. The apartment wasn't even hers either. So where in the hell did she get the startup money? Like if she had nothing, she said, "I have nothing. No money. The apartment's not hers. Nothing. Where did she get all that startup cash for like 3 Glocks and all travel money and
Come on, come on,
6,000?
come on, smart Alec. Let's go, Rachel. What's the answer?
Ask the screenwriters.
Oh God.
So we're
I
officially
didn't write the
asking.
film.
I'm writing all your answers down. Ask the screenwriters for all the questions. Okay.
I didn't write the film. I have no idea.
Actually, this is one that can be answered, but it just leads into another
Okay,
thing.
go.
What is
Tell
the
me.
time span here between the husband's dying and then the heist?
Oh, they said
3.5
like
seconds. 3.5 seconds.
It's like a month, right?
no. It's less
No,
than
everyone
that. Remember,
dies all within the same period, and they all become widows like almost instantly.
it's
No,
like
I-
3
no.
weeks or so.
Well, 3 weeks to a month, but like no, because they say like at some point I remember they say 2 months, 2 weeks, and then another point
A week.
I don't know
When
because
he-
there's also time skipping here as well.
Yeah. Well, there's
Like
also,
when did Manning take the lead in the polls?
it's also fact skipping too.
Manning takes the lead in the polls over Mulligan at
Yeah.
some point, but it seems like it's so
This is
abrupt.
very much above my pay grade. I
was
did not
pretty
follow
quick.
the timeline of the deaths. Like, it was not something that I was able to follow because it was just on.
Well, that's what it is. It's like 2 weeks after the heist and they all
Right.
die. That's when Manning comes to Veronica and says you have like 2 weeks, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Something like that.
And
No,
then
he gave her 1 month. No, he gave her 1 month.
oh, that's true. They
And then he
gave-
makes a phone call. He
That's
makes
true.
a phone call and says 1 week
yeah
after
they
you give the Super
kill
Bowl ring.
Bash.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah. The driver, then it just gives you 1 week. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
just
I'm gonna say is
short
a
period of
month.
time.
How every crime movie I've ever seen, the dude who's collecting money says have it for me next week or else. They don't give him no month. A month? Give me a break. That's like a month.
That's
Seriously.
why it wouldn't be a movie. Then there wouldn't be a movie. You can't do it in a week. These guys are not professional, like money heist people.
Yeah, he was just
Look.
being nice. He was being
There are a few holes in the plot for sure. Like,
Okay.
when he
So do we agree that this was a good movie or a bad movie?
we're not there
We're
yet.
not
host.
there yet.
Just take it easy.
I thought I
Um,
was the host.
Great. You got some vodka in that cup there?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay, more questions, more questions. I had a lot. I told you the last third to last quarter, the last third of this movie is questions.
Yeah.
Where does Belle go after the heist and they get back to the hideout? She gets out of the car and she walks away.
She going to go make a record with Biv and DeVoe.
Wow. Did you get that one, Rachel? Is that over your head?
Yeah, that's above my pay grade. I have no idea.
Belle Biv DeVoe is a music group? No, nothing.
No, I don't know. I'm
Poison.
a Gen Zer. I
They
cannot-
don't have Belle Biv DeVoe in Singapore.
No, Singapore doesn't have it. They didn't make it here.
Ask the
It only
writers.
stays on the.
So
Ask the writer. It just like didn't make it to Singapore. Yeah.
so Belle like just walks away. The other two girls, like, one gets shot, and Linda takes her to the hospital. But they all just trust Veronica with the money.
Well, they trust her with the money. The girl in the hospital should be. This should have been blown up because when you go to a hospital and you report to be gunshot, they report it to the police and they have to investigate it as a crime. She should have been caught. They all should have gone to jail. This
Well, she
movie
said-
should have ended with
No,
them
she said,
behind
it-
bars.
well, she said,
Darren, I didn't know
she
you
said it was a
had
drive-by.
inside for Chicago Police Department. I had no idea you had inside information.
Well, he's the expert on that. You're the expert on.
Hey,
on the
Law and Order,
screenwriters.
baby. Oh, y'all don't get Law and
I am
Order.
a screenwriter.
Y'all don't get Law and Order in
Obviously.
Well,
Singapore.
she did say it was a drive-by, so I guess like
Yeah. Have them try to prove that one. Where's her car? What was she driving? Where did it happen? Oh, it happened at the same intersection where that guy took a header into a stanchion.
yeah, you solved it.
I
Okay,
really don't
yeah.
remember the scene. I don't remember it.
Okay, so this is like my last
Starting trouble.
annoying question of this conversation.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't know all your other questions were annoying. Is this the only annoying one?
Oh, I thought they were all annoying because.
Oh, no, I was just qualifying it. I had no
All
idea.
right.
Yeah, go
all right,
on.
all right. So, the guy David who pays
Yeah.
Alice to I don't know, fuck, hang out, whatever. He's a dick.
Yep.
Jack's dad is a bigot.
Yep.
The Mannings are clearly
Racist.
assholes.
Yeah.
Well, the Mannings are the black guys. Like
Oh.
one's an ex
They must be drug dealers or something.
ex criminals, and one
Yeah.
is like killing everybody. All the wives knew what their husbands were doing, so they're complicit in those crimes. And then Harry and his crew are criminals. The question is Jack Mulligan the good guy in this movie?
At the end of the movie,
Which
I
one
guess
is
so.
Jack Mulligan again?
Colin
Colin
Farrell.
Farrell.
Colin Farrell? I mean, in essence, yeah, he as that's the irony. As a politician, he probably came out to have the least amount of crime.
That's crazy.
Like he's the least criminal. He's the least criminal of all of them.
And he also shits on his dad. Like, what does he say? I think I wrote. I'm looking forward to the day when all this bullshit is over and I don't have to talk to people like you, right? He's countering his father's like bigotry
Yeah,
and
because
racism.
that's literally it's essentially nepotism, right? So he just inherited his father's political power. He doesn't want to be it. He just wants out.
Well, remember, he's the one who sets this whole thing in motion because he hires Harry to steal the money and kill his crew. So
Did he? Did he hire him?
Yeah.
I missed that part.
they're on the boat and
Okay,
they're
so
like,
at the end of the day, everyone's
yeah.
a
There we
criminal.
go.
At the
Yeah.
end of the day, everyone's a criminal.
so everybody's a criminal, yeah, except for the dog. The dog is the
That's
only
how
winner.
Chicago.
No,
that's how
the
Chicago rolls.
the dog is complicit too. He knew that Harry was she knew that Harry was a criminal as well. So
Well,
So
it's fine.
everyone's full of sin.
okay, so yeah,
All
there's
right.
no good guys. There's no good guys in this. Okay,
Good
got it.
guy. Even the dog's not a good guy.
That's a
The
damn
girl,
shame.
I mean.
But we haven't really talked. We talked about one song in the track list.
Yeah, well,
There-
I didn't even know there was
fuck.
music, to be honest.
Honestly, like so, the track list on we look at whatsong.com most of the time. It has stuff I didn't even hear in the soundtrack. This one
Yeah.
called Kilometros by Sin Bandera.
yeah.
Uh, we mentioned one already. Wild Child by Wasp.
Yeah. I
Did you
mean,
hear that one?
no, I didn't hear a bunch. Most of the, and it's funny. If you look at the credits, all of those songs that are listed on what a song, they're also listed on the credits.
Yeah, I saw at the end.
I'm just like, wait, what? I think some of the music was in the bowling alley.
Did you hear How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, Al Green?
Nope, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear
There it
Why the
is,
Shade of
Shalimar.
Pale.
Oh, I heard Whiter Shade of Pale.
Oh, you did?
That was at the bowling alley. The first time that
Oh, when she went with the book.
yeah. And I
Oh,
mean, but I have an ear for that because like that's from one of my favorite soundtracks of all time, The Big Chill.
yes, I know.
So yeah, oh, I'll repeat it. But so Al Green is on this soundtrack, but we don't really fucking hear him. I didn't. Well, Rachel didn't notice any of the music.
I didn't hear
But
any of the music.
I heard You Rock My World, Michael Jackson.
You heard that
No,
too?
oh, I heard it. Yeah.
In what scene?
Oh, I
Well,
didn't write. Oh, it's in the salon. I think it's the first salon scene.
Oh, you're
okay,
right.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Madame George by Van Morrison. That one was pretty clear. That was also at the bowling alley, I think. The guy's by himself.
Yeah.
It's right before he gets harassed by
All
Jatan.
stabbed to death, stabbed up.
Well, yeah. So, and that I actually looked up the lyrics for that song. Man, Van Morrison, poet.
Yeah.
And then there's the closing credits has a pretty good song.
Yep.
yeah,
But
I've heard that when I realized the movie was over. There was music. Yeah.
Yeah.
actually,
No.
I added that song to my playlist.
Is this the Sade song?
Yeah, The Big
Yeah.
Unknown, years ago.
Yeah. It was
Years
nominated
ago. I haven't even
for
watched
Oscar.
this movie. It's a good song.
Yeah, it's a great song. Yeah.
Guys, I hate to do this, but I'm afraid I have to jump soon. I know.
All right, well, let me quickly say, there was one shot I really loved in the diner at the end where you get a mirror shot of Veronica and Alice at the same diner but not sitting together.
Yep.
I did want to point that one out because I
I don't
feel like we've been
remember
shitting on
that.
this movie. All right, should we try to get through some final questions
Yeah, let's
before
do the final
Rachel
questions
has to
before.
dip?
Sorry, I have to jump, but go,
Oh,
go,
it's
go.
right now. Oh, okay.
Go, go,
Um,
go.
my God, I don't even know where to start. Well, could Michelle Yeoh be in this film, and what role and would she make it better?
Why Michelle Yeoh? Because she's Asian?
Because
I don't
we
know how
love
that's no,
her.
because she's a woman and
She
we're
can
doing
do
Women's
anything.
History Month,
She
and
could
she's
have
one.
she could have checked off the diversity quota, maybe. I don't know if she would have made a difference.
Are there Asians in Chicago?
No, there are none.
Yeah,
There's only black people in Chicago.
I don't even know. Yeah, I don't know where she would have fit in. Baseline, I think she can do anything.
Yeah.
Although I did watch Wicked and her singing wasn't great. I said it. Damn it.
This is not a musical, just for the record. This is not a musical.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel so. What I thought about initially was Everything Everywhere All at Once, where she does play a bit of a timid character, and I think she could have played that role either with the Alice or Linda characters, and then of course they both toughen up towards the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if she fits this film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a very random question.
Oh, it's not random if you.
It is very
you-
random.
you-
I don't
you-
see the relevancy here.
You've been
You
on
have
the
to
show.
listen to our show.
You've been on the show several times, and we usually ask about a specific actor or actress.
Actually, I think we asked on your show.
Possibly, yes. Um, clearly,
Yeah, because
both.
you guys wish I watched Mulan, but I couldn't get it to play. So
No, that would have been too on the nose to have you do Milan.
Yeah.
But yeah, we
yeah,
prefer
I
this
would have
one.
probably watched the wrong version, to be honest.
Well, yeah, probably. Okay, so I have other questions, but maybe I'll just ask Darren after you leave, because we do want to get your. You didn't even notice the music, so we'll skip that too. But maybe we'll just get you to tell us what you
What's
rated this
your
film.
last question before I have to jump?
No, the last question is, what do you rate this film out of 10? 10 being the highest.
I give it a 4.5.
Woo, boy!
Jeez. Brutal.
4.5.
Wow.
Well, what did Rotten Tomatoes give it?
6 61.
Yeah, I say 4.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even after
Darren?
watching it 3 times.
Probably
Yeah, I
especially
watched
after
it three
watching it
times.
3 times.
Yeah, that just goes to show how unengaged I was. Yeah.
Darren, is that your rating as well?
No, I mean it was not the best movie in the world, and the soundtrack is not what they promised you, pretty much. But there's also still some stuff to like about it. I'd give it a 6.
I'm the highest.
What would you give it?
I give it a 6.5.
Oh,
It's not that much higher.
yeah,
No, well, it's much higher than 4.5.
Okay, fine.
yeah.
If you're doing math, perhaps.
Yes, yeah. Every once in a while, we like to do math here.
Yeah,
Listen,
we don't do that in Singapore, no.
listen. Whiter Shade of Pale, Big Chill. Nina Simone, Michael Jackson. I like the Van Morrison song, and I love the Sade song.
Yeah.
So actually, to me, though a small soundtrack track list, what we got was pretty decent. So that helps uplift the movie for me. I think there's some really good performances. Yeah, storyline, some of the writing is not great, but 6.5 isn't that high either. So,
And the soundtrack by Hans Zimmer. So there's that.
dude, I didn't notice the soundtrack, just so you know.
Yeah, I know. I was like, there's like maybe 2 songs I kind of noticed. The rest I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, Rachel,
Sorry, I
thank you.
have to jump. I have a 9:30.
All
I
right.
know, I'm such a shithead. It's
So-
past your bedtime. What are you guys doing?
It's not past my bedtime. It's his.
I'm up all night now.
Yeah, you're
I
up all
can't
night
go
at this
sleep now.
rate. But I
Uh,
appreciate you guys inviting me on the show. I had a great time.
Thank you.
Thank you for shitting on this movie we had picked out for Women's History Month. Appreciate it.
Yes, of course. I'm glad that there were a lot of women in this film. I was inspired.
You sounded inspired.
Inspired and really inspired. Yeah, women empowerment. Yeah, wonderful.
Women power, man.
All right. Well, thanks for jumping on again. I
Thank
can't remember. Is this
you.
your third show with us?
Perhaps, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's like
she
an
gets-
annual thing, right?
She gets the three timers jacket.
Three-timers
for the
jacket.
track list.
Love it. Give me the Letterman jacket.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, you have a good
Thanks,
one.
guys.
Thanks for
Thanks,
joining us.
Rachel.
Ciao. Good night. Bye.
Bye.
All right. You ready for some other questions?
Sure, why not?
So these are both off trivia. So this film was based off a British television show, and Steve McQueen was gonna try to adapt the six part crime drama into a film in 2012, when he was shooting 12 Years a Slave. Anyway, the question is, do you think this would be better as a series than
Yes.
this film?
Absolutely.
I haven't watched the original series, but yeah, why do you say that?
Simply because then you can take your time and put in all those things that were missing. They can get a little bit more detail. Like it would be cool to have backstory, like more backstory on each of the women.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of feeds into the main story of this heist being planned, you know?
Like I said, I loved the opening scene, so I think they did that well. And I think
Yeah.
these backstories are in fact flashbacks, and maybe that's what they cut out.
Yeah. No, I thought the first 3 minutes was
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, and a little more time maybe to develop their understanding of like heists.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Yeah. No, I agree. My other question was, apparently, Jennifer Lawrence was approached for the role of Alice,
Oy.
but had to decline because of conflicts. Thoughts?
I could see her do it. I definitely could see her do it. I mean, if you didn't get, you said you didn't see Silver Linings Playbook. If you saw that, you could see she does have she's good at kind of digging out some like regular Joe kind of personality.
Well, I think what I was more curious about was like, could she pull off that timid, battered woman side of things?
She does it in Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh, she
and
does. Okay.
Yeah, so I'd say yeah.
Okay.
And she, yeah, I could see, yeah, I could see it. Although this choice was not bad either. So
Yeah, it's just her height just struck me
Yeah.
every time she stood next to everybody else.
yeah, that surprised me because normally like in Hollywood,
Well, especially with men and their egos. And
they
having
don't
to stand
cast people like that. They they look like being 6 foot in Hollywood is tough, especially for a woman.
All right, so do you have a favorite song and then a song you think encompasses the story?
Well, for me, obviously, the big unknown from Sade.
Yep.
Man, if that was the only song on this soundtrack,
And they played it over and over
they played
again.
over again, I would watch this movie because of that. I remember when they first started promoting this film, they actually started promoting the song to the film at the same time. And
It's probably why I added it to my playlist so long ago.
I was like, "Oh my gosh, Sade is doing this. Oh, I gotta watch this movie." And yeah, I mean,
Yeah, honestly, they could have played this at the funeral. They could have played it like during one of the flashbacks and at the end of the film. They could have repeated this song
yeah, they could have
with
easily.
effect, with effect.
Yeah, and would have been like sometimes that would be overkill, but I don't think it would have been overkill for this at all.
No, I mean, so that I mean, I think I already talked about how much I love this song, and like that's my favorite of this track list. I think it's
Yeah.
also the song that encompasses. There's not a lot to pick from, but
Yeah.
I think just the title, "The Big Unknown," there's an obvious connotation of like death,
Yep.
but then also like these four women are going into a heist that they've never done before, that's
Yeah.
unknown to them, and then also coming out of that, at the end, I feel like Veronica, life moving forward is a big unknown for her as well.
Yeah.
So I think it works on a lot of levels.
You know what's funny about so when they when they come and they talk to Viola's apartment and kind of tell her she owes the money for the $2 million. They asked the money. He asked the money from her. She was smart enough because they didn't say anything about the other women. She kind of led them to believe that they were going to be at. But I don't think, like, if they were going to be after her, all of them, don't you think they would have visited all of them?
Yeah, that's why she's not a good person.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fucked up thing to do. If they found out afterwards, can you imagine? Wait, what? We weren't in danger either? Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad I finally watched the movie. I think I was expecting more,
Yeah,
so a little disappointed, but I think I would probably watch it again just to not take notes and everything,
Right.
just to
watch it.
Yeah,
I was
maybe it'd be
expecting
better.
Set It Off, like an updated Set It Off.
Well, we could have done that as well, couldn't we?
Yeah, yeah. That would have been. I mean, of the two, I think Set It Off is obviously a better film, but
We probably should have done that. Why didn't you recommend it? It's your fault.
I did recommend it.
Queen Latifah, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Simply
You-
Red, MC Light,
You
Busta
can't
Rhymes,
find it. It's not
Brandy,
playing
Shaka
anywhere.
Khan, Ray J, En Vogue, Seal.
Yeah,
Wow.
but you can't find it anywhere to play it. That's why I didn't suggest. I was like, where is it streaming? I think it was streaming for a long time. It was streaming on Netflix.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, because I mean, to me, Set It Off is a day killer. So,
Uh-oh. Don't know if I can watch Jada Pinkett Smith, though.
oh yeah, that's another. I mean, she doesn't age well. So,
Anyway,
Yeah.
well, what's on your list for
Oh,
next month or so?
the next month or so. Well, on the 14th, on my other podcast, Conversations with Darren Jenkins, I'm talking to film producer Ramphis Murthel, who is an award-winning filmmaker and producer, and he's kind of crushing it in film right now. So that's going to be fun. I'm gonna do that live, and give people a chance to submit questions while we chop it up, and then and that's really it. Besides my creators lounge, how about yourself?
Every Wednesday at 7 o'clock.
Every Wednesday.
Uh, not not. I mean, so no shows coming up at the moment. I'm holding off because we just got I believe the final piece to the song that I'm hoping to release soon came in.
Oh, cool.
So we're in the kind of final stages of like feedback and then mixing and all that stuff. So I think once I know the timeline for that release, I'll probably book a show as like a release show. So
Who's doing the mastering for you?
our friend JT Curtis.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
cool.
he's doing the mixing. I assumed he was doing the mastering too.
Mixed
Yeah.
Master Ice.
So that's kind of on my horizon. I'm kind of focused on that. I was taking off March anyway, so perhaps in April or June, or April or May, we'll see.
Cool. Yeah, that's good plan. You know, get your stuff all lined up so that way when the summer comes, you're ready.
Oh, I also have my my reggae EP that I would like to have for the summertime. So,
Oh, that would be really. That's something you should really do. Definitely.
well, that's all just waiting to be finalized, mixed and mastered. So, just waiting, just waiting.
Mm. If I knew somebody, if I could help, I master it, I would, but I don't have those skill sets. So, well, that's cool. And of course, as we continue moving forward with the track list, we're always looking for new guests, new movies to do. So, if you're out there and you're interested and you want to be on the show, or if you've got a film or a soundtrack that you think we should be doing, feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to us on social media, on Instagram at Tracklist Show. You can reach out to us on Spotify directly on the actual show by leaving comments, letting us know what you think. And of course, while you're there, you can subscribe and like and follow us to help support the podcast. So cool. And once again, thanks, Rachel, for stopping by and offering your expertise.
She didn't watch the movie, man.
She didn't watch that movie. She put it on and then probably passed out. And then woke up and it was still on. And then woke up and it was still
Uh-huh. Well, thank you for your insights.
your
Let's put it that way.
insights and your joie de vivre, or whatever that happens to be. All right. Well, until next time, I'm Darren Jenkins,
I'm Chris Saunders.
and this was the
The
track
Track List.
list. See you guys on the other side. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Cool.